morning, Lacamas Leopards. Mrs. Mueller here with your morning message for the week of January 9th. Now, this year we have our theme, which is Hope and Belonging Grow Here. And at the very beginning of the year, we did some lessons as a whole community that talked about all are welcome here. We did our whole community project about sharing about the different qualities that each of us bring and how that's that superhero inside of you. And we did our thumbprint art and we shared, what are you bringing to this community that helps and supports all that are welcome here? Each month, we are taking time to remember and to learn more about different cultures and different people who have positive impacts in our world, in our communities around us, so that we can learn more about how we can be a contributing member of our community here at Lacamas, but even beyond that. Now this month, we are going to talk more about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And hopefully we'll continue to talk about this impact that this man has had in our world and in our country and for each of us individually throughout the whole year. But this month, we're spending some time and you'll have a day off, and I want you to remember why we have that day off. Our assembly, our leadership kids will be sharing more, and your teachers will be talking and helping you understand more within your class. But right now, I want to connect some of the quotes that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. shared with our character traits for this month. Our character traits are on courage and perseverance. And Dr. Martin Luther King led a life of service, of love, of courage, and of perseverance, so that his mission and his vision that all people would be created equally, that all people would not be judged by any differences that we had, but by who we were on the inside. Well, here's a couple quotes. I'm going to have you pause and think, and I'll share about some of my ideas. And maybe in class, you'd like to post them up and talk a little bit more. What does this quote mean? And how can that relate to you? One of the quotes that I really enjoy is, he said, "If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way." What does that mean to you? If you cannot do great things, you can do small things in a great way. Take a moment and just pause and think about that, or maybe discuss as a class. For me, not being able to do great things, there are some really big things that I have not been able to do. I can't even whistle, right? Shh, I can't even whistle. But there are small things that I can do, and everything that I do, I can do to my best. That's what that quote means for me. Here's another quote by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "If you cannot fly, then run." Well, right there. Can you fly? I can't fly. So we know there are things in this life and that we're never going to be able to do. But it said, then run. So do what you can do. Let me finish this quote. If you cannot fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. What does that quote mean to you? To me, this is that persistence. That is the perseverance. That means that you set your goals in front of you, what you know is right, that you keep moving towards it, even if it feels like all you can do is crawl. Because by the time you continue to keep moving forward, at the end, you'll feel like you flew. Here's 2 more quotes. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. What does that quote mean to you? You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Boy, sometimes things are scary. Sometimes it's really hard when you look at that end and something big like a huge report that your third, fourth, and fifth graders are starting to do. Or maybe it's writing a whole sentence or a paragraph that kindergarten and first grade, those are big things. But you don't have to see that whole staircase, meaning the whole project, when it's completed. You have to take the first step. What's the first thing to do? And then you take the next step. And if you keep taking those steps, where will you reach by the end? The top. Boys and girls, this talks about not only courage, but perseverance. The last quote I want to share with you. The time is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right. Here at Lacamas, we are respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. No matter where you are, no matter who you're with, no matter what we do, it's always the right time to do what's right. Lacamas Leopards, let's dive in, learn more about what did Martin Luther King live by his example and share and leave for us that we can learn from and that help us be even better. Let's go ahead and spend some time as a class, learn a little bit more, and at our assembly, our leadership kids will be sharing with us. With that, have a great week. And Lacamas Leopards, remember, we're respectful, responsible, safe, and kind.